proud of the way that the guys just put in the shit.
Hey, what's it like in Brazil right now? Is it warm?
Yeah.
It's always hot, huh? Yeah.
You really fucked.
This sucks more than anything that I've ever sucked before.
You getting that ass, Larry? Know what I mean? You getting that ass, Larry. That's what the fuck you do.
We are enjoying a lot about this time here in...
Why are you holding up a card to indicate a penalty? Like, there's so many different things you can do and you decide to hold up a card? That's insane to me.
Oh no, I'm stuck. Step bro, come help me.
Where is the vagina? It's a trick question because you can't see it here. You need to part the labia first.
Best intro in the game. Well done, Brett. What?
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Excuse me. I pour many minutes and hours into putting those together. But hey,
Derek, during Christmas break, make sure you get another intro done for me.
I will.
Steal all the credit again.
For you to take all the credit for her. All right. Welcome to Straight Red Card. It is Monday. We got a long list of injuries and a bunch of other crazy shit to go through. Honestly, I do want to point out when I was trying to describe Donovan's comments last time, and I was searching for the fallacious, which I did eventually find the word for it. Yeah. No, I wasn't going to say the FAG word. That wasn't happening. Wasn't going to happen. So let's just not go there with that. All right. Anyhow, for those of you who thought I was going to say that, wasn't going to happen. And didn't happen. I mean, it was close, but I couldn't find the word fallacious. Sorry. It just wouldn't come to my head. But anyhow, we don't have to get into all of that Gaylord stuff. Who was the comedian who used to say that?
What?
The comedian. He used to do a Jamaican. He was the guy that pretended to be from like Uzbekistan or whatever.
Oh, I can't think of his name.
I can't either.
Borat guy.
Borat. But he used to do another character who was like a Jamaican rapper. Remember? And he had...
there it is. Broken's got it.
Sacha Baron Cohen. And remember when he had David Beckham and his wife on his show? And he was wearing... I
remember Ali G.
Ali G, that was it. And he was wearing a sarong, which is the Japanese... outfit thingy, like a robe, and he's like, what are you wearing there, man? And excuse me, Beckham said a sarong, and he said, I know it's sarong, but what are you wearing?
Are you saying Sasha does D-Rec as well?
Yeah, I know.
All Derek's accents go to D-Rec eventually.
I'm dipping into D-Rec quite a bit there. I can't do apparently a Jamaican accent, but yeah.
As long as it doesn't sound like Derek, I mean, it's just another accent doesn't sound like Derek. It's just going to be D-Rec.
Yeah, but Ali G used to say that, and all the time he'd be like, "But you know," and all those gaylords that you're hanging out with. What? I never heard that used before. Anyhow, we love gay people on this show. So just keep that in mind. All righty. Where in the hell are we going to start today, Brett? Because there's so much to get into. We could start at Lawless. We could start at hemorrhoids with apparently Caleb Wiley having hemorrhoid surgery. Not true.
Not where we're starting today.
But thank you, Tact, for dipping into our injury list because we're the ones to go with left testicle and hemorrhoids.
Yeah,
that's our thing. But I do think that it's cool to see you dip into it on your show because honestly, it's getting to the point where how do you describe all these injuries? We don't even know what they are.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm sorry, Tony Martinez, about the lack of fluff tonight.
There's still fluff.
There is. And, you know, outside of my frustration of the porn being all blocked because I don't have one of those, what are those things called where you pretend you're from France or something? What's that called again?
Where you pretend you're from France?
Yeah, you get an account. It makes it look like you're from France, so you can then watch all the porn you want from anywhere.
VPN, I guess.
Yeah, VPN.
You get that? Is what you're referring to?
Yeah, and outside of that frustration, life's been great, so I have no complaints. It's not really a frustration because, like you, the one that I generally watch is not. I'd like to talk offline about which one you're talking about that doesn't have that issue, because mine doesn't either. But I'm pretty sure it's Russian. I'm pretty sure it's Russian. I mean, I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure it is. Anyhow,
mine definitely geolocates because when we went down to Jamaica, got a whole slew of different things.
Oh, well, it might be Eastern European, and it just sounds sort of Russian. You know, a lot of those languages, the closer you get to Russia, sound very Russian to me.
Yeah,
they're Cyrillic language.
They're all part of this, motherland. They're all part of Soviet. So,
well, they do speak different languages, but they do start sounding more similar as you head towards the old Soviet Union. You know what I mean? Slavic languages. I might be wrong about that. I'm sure there's Slavic languages that are very different from each other, but they kind of have the same pronunciations. King Kalo for $4.99. How can I send super chat without paying? I have a lot of packets of pussy topic and U.S. men's national team fan base topics. You got a whole packet? A whole packet of, wow.
You can't send a super chat without paying, but you can post without paying.
Yeah, you can post without paying.
And if it catches my eye or Derek's eye, Derek every now and then Derek will do a side eye to the chat.
I often do. By the way, for the 69 of you who are just here, make sure you like, subscribe, share with Grandma. Unfortunately, we're up to 79, but hey, what the hell? For the sake of 69, giggity. All right.
Thanks for that $4.99.
Yeah, what do you got, Brett? What do you
got? Some topics. What do you got?
Just me, myself, and I, as De La Soul used to say. Just me, myself.
Tom Bogert says sources: Colorado Rapids have acquired all of the Philadelphia Union's super draft picks for the next 3 seasons.
Oh my god!
In exchange for $350,000 GAM plus performance-based add-ons. How does that work out? What? Colorado, whoever you guys signed from the draft, if they do really well, we want more money.
Yeah,
is that what it is?
I just went through the 2023.
Weird.
I went through the 2023 list of the top 30 draft picks. You know what most of them did? Nothing.
USL?
Yeah, go play for USL teams or 2 teams. They did mostly absolutely zero. Can someone name me someone from the 2023 draft that was a like auto starter, like a critical signing?
I've been slowly but surely every season just avoiding the draft altogether because that's what it is. It's become academy players that are getting signed up for homegrown contracts, or they're going abroad.
Well, here, just some of the top 5. Josh Bolma played for New England Revolution 2 all season. Okay, midfielder, played 43 games for them. Herbert Endeley, a Indiana University guy, played for North Texas SC, but drafted by FC Dallas. On loan to North Texas SC.
The first guy you mentioned, did you say he played 43 games?
43 games for New England Revolution.
And he was drafted last season?
Yes, 2023.
Oh, how many?
No, that's 2 seasons worth.
2 seasons, yeah. I was about to say.
Okay. And then Hamadi Diop, who was picked by Charlotte FC, went on to play for the Crown Legacy for 11 games. Now he's off somewhere in where the is this team? I've never even heard of this team.
I've heard the name before, though.
Kukariki is a Serbian football professional club from Belgrade. Okay, there you go. That's where he's at, where he's played a total of 3 games. And then the big one was Moisa Bombito. But, I mean, he packed his bags pretty quickly after 1 season at Colorado. So that was a good pick.
And a solid international career. So
yeah, and now he's at Nice. So you can get a gem on occasion. But he, played for New Hampshire. Well, New Hampshire for 1 season. So it's not like he overdid it in college. Maybe Iowa Western Ravers. That's another college team, maybe. So maybe 2 seasons in college. He's 24, though. I don't know. It looks like he also did the Auguste Colleague Augustic with whatever that is in Montreal. So I guess he did play a full 4 seasons of college ball, but boy, and whoever missed out on that guy missed out. But once they figured it out after just simply 1 season. So you can find a gem, but if you do, and they're really, really good, they're going to go anyhow. They're leaving.
Well, I mean, they're fewer and far between at this point because, I mean, there's still players that are opting for the college route in the draft and all that stuff, just like there was in the past. But you just have so many more younger talents that are skipping and going straight into MLS that are filling up the roster spots instead. Because at that point, the open roster spots for college draft picks are very slim.
Yes, they are. Like, you're just generally not going to get many gems at this point from the super draft, which isn't so super. I do want to say
at this point, the draft, I know USL will still have a draft. But I think MLS, if they were smart about it right now, they would just stop the draft, let the teams scout whom they want to scout,
and compete.
Yep. And then USL can come in and they can pick up all the remaining players who weren't picked up by the MLS teams and go through their own draft.
You certainly don't need 3 rounds of this shit.
Yeah.
Give me
the 4th, 5th, and 6th. Even back in the day, the 4th, 5th, and 6th were just hysterical. Yeah, I know Chicago managed to find a couple of gyms inside the 3rd round, but
time has passed. Things have changed. Most of the good youth players aren't playing in college. They're playing with academies. They're playing in MLS academies already.
Yeah.
So it's time to probably say, as you say here, bye-bye. Bye-bye to
we
the
got to pull
MLS
up our big boy
Super Draft.
britches at this point. Let the teams actually compete. If we can't do an open mark with our finances and everything, we can't do promotion, relegation, all this other big boy stuff that you want to do. Just let them start competing on certain things.
So I do want to say thank you to Tom. Don't bogart that joint, my friend, for the report. But he seems to be like saying this is a good deal or something. But honestly,
it's a good deal for Philly.
Absolutely, it's a good deal for Philly.
Philly just got $350,000 plus bonuses if some random players from college happen to do well for Colorado.
Yep. Johnny says I suck. I just want to say, yes, I did watch the MLS Galaxy game, and yes, it's my team. It's my MLS team, and we won. Take that, Brett. Your Chicago team sucks. Anyhow,
hey, we got Coach of the Year 2025 on his way. So,
sure, yeah, absolutely. I'm drinking this new Taxman beer, which is called the Investor from Taxman Company here in Indiana. It is a Belgian-style golden ale with meadow foam. What the fuck is meadow foam honey? Is that what the bees just out after they're done eating?
I guess. Well, I mean, technically speaking, all honey is bee vomit. So
the bees had a massive orgy, and afterwards there was a lot of meadow foam honey left, which we scooped up to make this beer, and vanilla.
That's after they get busy with the Queen. That's what meadow foam is.
A big bee gangbang is what you're saying there, right? A lot of meadow foam left after that. Bukkake, the Queen Bukkake.
You're drinking the foam they scrape off the top of every beer they make.
I guess so. I don't know. After every bukkake, that's what I'm getting in my beer. Meadow foam honey, not honey, but meadow foam honey. What's left after the orgy? And this is 8.5% alcohol by volume, so
not bad.
Pretty good, but not as much as I usually drink.
I got my last Turbo Reaper, which is 3 Floyds, which is also Indiana, drinking local, and mine's only 7.
This is not bad. Why am I a German disgrace to Johnny? Why do I get this all the time? Brett, what am I doing here to be a German disgrace?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Johnny, let us know.
You love to jerk off to Nordish Vikings with man buns, apparently.
Who supports has been screaming about more Germans being at least given a phone call lately than me? That includes Dominic Downs and Noah Kai and the Frankfurt kid. I mean, Jesus,
Brown.
what do I need to do? Nathaniel Brown. Yeah. All right. Anyhow, we'll move on. Maloney, we've been talking about Maloney till we're pooping. Till we're pooping in our pants. We've been screaming from the hills. Give Maloney a shot. Call him in and try him at center back, for Christ's sake. Especially now that Richards is in a starter for Crystal Palace going forward.
Yeah.
Probably not. Probably not. Some guy took his spot when he was gone and did a really good job while he was gone. So he might not be starting very much. Dominic, what I say? Damian Downs again? Dominic Downs.
Drink.
I'll drink.
It's the only way you'll learn, Derek. It's the only way you'll learn.
Yeah, drinking's going to make me significantly smarter. Yeah, for sure. All right. For the 110 of you here now, make sure you like, subscribe, share it with Grandma. Lean over and give your stepsister a kiss. We all know you want to. All right. What do you got?
A resurfaced video showing young Barron Trump playing soccer.
What? Okay.
Yeah, let's take a watch. He's right there in the center. You see him?
He's a fucking giraffe. He's tall as hell. Huh. Oh my God, he's so huge compared to the other kids. Oh my God, he's giant. He's a giant person. He's not bad.
Somebody said he's got the he's as agile as a newborn giraffe.
He looks like a baby deer. Wow. Well, that's against little kids, but
they're his age. They're his age.
They are his age. He's just. What did they feed this kid?
I mean, that's that massive amount of growth is just gonna be awkward.
God, it's gotta be. Anyhow, wow.
When the ball's at his feet, though, he's got a little bit of control.
Yeah, he does for his feet being so far from his brain.
You know who posted this?
Who? Joe Biden.
Peter Crouch.
Peter Crouch. Of course
And his chat was like, the comment section was like, dude, I could have swore this was youth footage of you.
I mean, it looks a lot like him. The way he moves,
people are like,
so.
oh, but how can he bicycle? Is he any good at bicycle kicks?
I don't know. I guess he won't be playing soccer. Sports he was good at, apparently, but he wasn't good enough to move to any next level. Johnny says Trump is German. I thought he was Dutch.
You say potato.
Trump is the original name. I thought that was Dutch, but I could be wrong. I don't know. All right, so there you go. Little Barron Trump playing soccer. He's not playing soccer anymore. I don't think so.
Oh no! He's got a different future lined up for him. So
no, I'm sure. I'm sure he does. All right, what else we got?
Hold on 1 second. We got a YouTube short. Nice edited short. Dak is going through some video editing, or he's hired out some nice video editing.
Okay.
And he's got a nice little short here. And I wanted to bring it up because it started a little bit of some controversy.
All right.
I don't see a major issue with us playing in MLS stadiums. I mean, they're great stadiums. But in this country, you don't really have to play in the MLS stadiums. MLS can do their own thing to grow in that city. What we should be doing is we should be partnering with colleges, going to these college stadiums, giving a good percentage of free tickets to college students in that location, and for locals, pack like a 40, 50, 60,000. If it's free for a good amount of college students, they'll get some beers and they'll go and they'll have fun, they'll have a good time.
Yeah. Or offer them a $20 ticket and a free beer on entry. Believe me, they will come out for that.
Yeah,
I don't think this
on campus, and it also has to be with big colleges, right? You're not going to go with like a 5,000 student college.
Okay. Can we imagine this at IU for a second as an example?
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about IU. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm just saying. Do you think that's going to work at IU? That's 80,000 kids. You going to pack a stadium, 60,000? And where are they going to do it?
Man, IU's grown since I went, man. It was capped at 42 when I went.
I think it's getting up there. Do you think they would fill the football stadium on that unnatural grass they got there? It's not even real grass.
So is it not? Again, I've only ever been to one football game there.
It's not real.
I took this a different route. There are some talking points that could be had here. And I'm going to use an example. Let's look at the game against Panama and Austin. Okay?
Okay.
We packed out a 20,000 seat stadium in Austin, their Austin FC stadium. And I'm sure we could have sold some more, maybe.
Sure.
I mean, it's Pochettino's first window. We could have sold some more, I think. So, to their point, it would have been interesting to see if there had been some massive amount of marketing that you reach out to the University of Texas.
Okay.
And you say, hey, let's work something out. We'll offer a student section, this lump over here. Because, I mean, I don't know if you know, but the UT stadium is like 100,000 seats.
Yep.
It's a massive fucking stadium.
Of course it is.
Say, hey, we're going to offer a discount ticket. And this is why I pointed out what Pete said. Say, hey, offer, I don't even know if a $20 ticket would be the best idea because, I mean, how college students really have $20 to go to a game. But you offer, say, $20 tickets plus a beer, and you have a student section along with the normal pricing and everything, hopefully discounted because there's so many seats and maybe you want to draw more people. But maybe you pack the stadium with 40 or 50,000. That includes a portion of some college students and then some club teams as well. You reach out to the local clubs and give them a discounted rate as well.
I think that's better than the college kids. And I also think reach out to the Hispanic community.
Exactly.
Nearby.
The problem with papering a stadium, and I worked in venues before, papering the stadium rarely ever works. And what I mean by papering the stadium is you want a ticket, here's a ticket, here's a ticket, here's a ticket.
No, free stuff is bad. You don't just give free tickets. Cheap tickets, maybe. Free tickets? Yeah. Hell no. Don't do that.
I'll say if a person was given, if family were given 5 free tickets for a family of 5 to go to an Indy 11 game, okay? Or they had to pay $5 per ticket to go to the Indy 11 game. So totally not $25. Who doesn't have $25 in that sense, right? I mean, it's a rough economy, I understand. But 25 tickets for a night out with your family. Are you more inclined to drive down to Indianapolis with your family as your family of 5 if you paid $25 for all 5 tickets, or if you got free tickets?
You've made some investment into it.
Yeah.
So yes, you want those that $25 investment to mean something. Now, yeah, free, bad. There's nothing more than says don't go there because this is bullshit. It's a laughing stock.
You have to add some value to it.
Yeah, then saying nobody wants to go. Here, can you please take these and come? Now, that's a horrible thing. As somebody who was involved in marketing and sales for a long time, that's a bad idea. It's a really bad idea.
I don't know how well the University of Texas men's team pulls in for the soccer, but I'll say their women's team pulls in 10,000 people attending. And I'm sure there's some crossover between the men's and the women's game as far as who's attending the games.
Can I ask you this though?
If you get 5,000 of that 10,000 to come, it still is a soccer loving population that's coming in. That's still young. How
many other colleges is that going to work at?
Depends on what cities you're talking about, but yeah.
Yeah, not going to work at Bloomington. Not.
Oh, no. You're going to avoid the. You're really only. I think TAC mentions it. But you've got at the very end. You got to focus on the big colleges, etc.
Yeah,
that's why I brought up Austin as an example because we had the game in University of Texas right there, anyways.
No, they played the game in Austin, but the university's around the corner. He's saying play the games at college stadiums.
Yeah.
No.
You can't pay. You can't do the college thing with Austin FC field because they sold out the Austin FC field. The idea is having them in the college stadiums, so you have a bigger stadium and you can start papering it with other people.
Most college football stadiums don't have real grass. Why are you going to do that? That counts most of them out right away.
MLS stadiums don't have real grass. We still play on them.
Austin does. You play the game at Austin, and you reach out to the colleges, and you reach out to his local Hispanic organizations. You reach out to the local club teams, as you mentioned.
In this case, though, then you'd be taking a hit and eating it because you already sold out the stadium for Austin.
Then Austin's not the example we need to use. That's why I brought up IU in Bloomington. It work in Bloomington? Hell fucking no, it won't. I don't care if you gave them a bunch of free tickets. They're not coming.
His point is it could work in Austin.
Where? Okay. Why do you need to do that because you've got a really great stadium in Austin that's grass on it. You play there, you reach out to the college. Done.
So
but
you
can't, he can't, and you can't, and Pete can't give me a single fucking example of a college where this is going to work out great. A college stadium where this is going to, just name me one. Any of you, name me one college stadium, football stadium, this is going to be a big game winner with. It's not. And until they can name me one, I'm just don't think this is a good idea.
Okay, you're putting this on now. What parameters is going to make it for you?
You need grass. Number one, you need a giant student body, which we've already talked about. You're even doubting IU has a big enough student body. So where are you going to go next? UCLA? USC? Washington University? Washington State?
We already do it for a number of states. We play Mexico. We play Mexico in Dallas, and we have to put artificial grass over top of that stadium.
Oh, great! Extra expense.
I'm just saying.
And it's horrible, Brett. You know it's horrible.
I know it's horrible. My point being is you can still play it there.
This is not a solution, dude. I'm sorry. I know college football really
nobody's
well.
saying it's a solution. He's saying it's an option to move forward and grow in certain areas.
Well, don't get emotional about it. I'm just saying it's not.
No, you cut me off. You literally just shut it down completely. That's all you do in these debates. You don't actually talk about it. You just shut it. It's not going to work.
Okay, Brett. I didn't just say it isn't going to work. I gave you examples of why it's not going to work. I used the example, which is why I brought it up.
Have grass or artificial turf?
Who?
University of Tennessee or Texas.
I don't know, but why do it? Why do it there?
It's in Austin. I provided an Austin alternative.
Yeah, I get it, but they're already next door to the stadium where you're going to play the game. You won't, as you pointed out, you don't need Austin colleges to support that game because it was sold out. So what I am saying to you is Austin's not the example we need to be using. Let's use other examples.
We sold out of a 20,000 seat stadium. The point is we can grow it and bring in more people to see the game. And in chance, if you have more seats in a 20,000 seat stadium for MLS, you no longer have the $150 high-rise seats anymore.
So check
those high-rise seats turn to $25, $30 the most. You can have more people that were willing to come to see the game, but they don't want to spend the money for it.
Check out whether Texas has an actual grass field, because that's the real problem.
Whether it has grass or not, it's not the point. It could be any other stadium that has grass. This isn't really worth me looking up right now.
Okay, all I'm saying, Brett, it's a nice idea.
Yeah,
I'm just saying when you start getting into the logistics, it doesn't work. That's all I'm saying.
Burnt Toast says it's not grass. So, regardless, the point stands is what they're saying is you can incorporate new fandom. I don't agree with tact initially when you say paper with the student body. I disagree with that. What I'm saying is you can reach out those communities, and if you have a stadium that's bigger than an MLS stadium, because at that point, for that game specifically, and then the Jamaica game after that, we sold out of those performances, which is great. And the only thing I'll argue against this is you come into the argument of a closer, authentic environment in the 20,000 seat stadium. If it's sold out, it feels great. You have that great atmosphere. Whereas, like with Indy 11, when they moved to Lucas Oil, at that point it was crap.
You point out another great argument out about why I don't like this idea, or why I don't. Not that I don't like the idea. Why I don't think it's workable. I don't think Pete and Tack know dick squat about college football and college football stadiums. And I don't think they know anything about college campuses in the United States. I really don't. And I don't think this is that easy. And I don't think it's a winning idea. And I don't think this is where you go. How about this, U.S. Soccer? Just make some of the tickets cheaper. And I guarantee you more people will go.
Well,
and as you said, reach out to the youth academy teams. Reach out to them.
Well, that's perfectly fine on the games where, like in Kansas City or down in Florida, when we play Camp Cupcakes and we sell 9,000 tickets, perfectly fine for that, and you can do that.
But
again, these other matches, some are meaningful, some are not. Like Austin, you had the game in St. Louis. I think Cincinnati sold out. Those were all sell out. You can't reach out to people because they've already sold out.
So let's take this as an example for Pete and Tack. you're playing in Kansas City. You go to Kansas City. What college are you partnering up with? And in what stadium outside of the one we're using at SKC are you going to use? Because again, same problem, not real fields, not real grass, too big of stadiums for in one case, not the other. But what are you going to do?
I think what
Arrowhead?
I think what you're also looking at is you're looking at every single game as a viable option for what they're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're talking about every single game we need to be doing this.
Well, I didn't hear that from them. So
well, I guess I may be reading too much into it. I don't know. It's possible.
I'm just saying their idea is nice, but I don't think either of them has a clue about college, U.S. college, i.e. campuses and or fan bases and or stadiums. That's why I find this one a stretch. And that's because Pete lived most of his life over in foreign lands. And then, probably Tack didn't get here until, I don't know, it was like, 10 years ago. So, and he's been back and forth. I don't think he knows a whole lot about college culture. You and I went to college at IU, and we know firmly that would be a losing idea in Bloomington. It just wouldn't work.
Sure. But I mean, Bloomington's.
But it's a big campus too.
Sure, but I'm saying it's again. We also need to not take a look at the fact that I'm going to reel this back a little bit because the way Tack does describe it is you just basically are papering the stadium with the student body.
Yes,
and I don't think that'll work. No,
it won't.
I disagree with that completely. But my point would be is if I'm going to continue with the University of Texas because this is my talking point on X.
That's fine, but
if
that's perfect.
If you have, it won't be perfect. No.
No. I'm saying Austin's about as perfect as you can get because most major colleges aren't located in major cities.
That's fair. Yeah. But I'm just saying if you look at the like I said, the women's team pulling in 10K on average for a game, if you can get a fraction of those, and they have their own student body section. You have a club section that guarantee there are massive clubs all around there. You offer cheap seats for the families. They can have their section, and then you fill it up. You can fill up, mind you, it's going to come down to you're going to have like 30, 40, 50,000 people in that stadium, but then it's half full still. So there's that issue, is what I was saying earlier.
And it's not personal. I love those guys. You know that.
No, I think you're dragging them down on purpose.
No, I'm not. Yep. I just don't think.
I heard you call them stupid.
I love those guys. So that's not the argument here. It's just I really don't think they grew up in this culture enough to understand what it is they're advocating for and how it might work and the big time hurdles they would have to jump over to even make that viable in Bloomington, Indiana, Bloomington, Minnesota, anywhere, Bloomington in Illinois, excuse me.
So,
it's not going to happen.
To your point, Indiana would be a horrible option because Indianapolis doesn't have, we have an actual stadium there, but Bloomington would be out of the way. People would have to travel a lot after getting to Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
So, that wouldn't work. We don't really have a major option in downtown. We have Lucas Oil at that point, but.
As I pointed out earlier, most major colleges, state universities are not located. The big ones are not located in big cities. They're just not.
TK57 says, imagine going to Indiana. Well, yeah, what's wrong with that?
Indiana's actually pretty nice state.
It's super fucking quiet out here. I am literally a short drive. I'm like 25 minutes from anywhere downtown.
And cost of living's great.
Yes, it's nice.
So gas is actually even reasonable here.
Super swell.
All right, we'll move on. It's not to trash anybody or their ideas. I'm glad people are trying to find solutions. That's just not probably
everybody tag
Pat and T.
that Derek called them stupid.
I did not call them stupid. I just said it's not a valuable idea.
Sorry. All right, so we had a conversation last show about Landon Donovan. You said some choice words.
Yes.
The segment.
And he won't shut up.
Choice words that I didn't feel confident to snip that segment out and try to monetize it because I don't think it'd work.
Mm.
So it was fun. It was a fun segment though.
Yeah.
But we were told. I think Colin told me actually, and I didn't have time to research where it was at. That there was a segment where Donovan and Tim go in and explain their reasoning for hating on Klinsmann. And somebody was nice enough, and I just closed it out, so I don't have their Twitter handle.
Okay.
somebody was nice enough to provide the timestamp for that.
Oh yeah, who was that? Shit, I forgot.
I can find it later, but I'll think of them on Twitter.
All right.
Yeah. So here's the questions coming up here.
As Landon and Tim, why do you guys hate on Jurgen Klinsmann so much? From an outside perspective, he overachieved in the World Cup in 2014. What is your reasoning on how he hurt the U.S. men's national team?
Ooh.
It's a great question. It's a great question. And I think you start.
It is a great question.
Well, I'd like, oh, by the way, for the 169 of you here right now, giggity, make sure you like, subscribe, share with your grandma. All right.
Started by saying from the outside. So yes, from the outside, Jurgen Klinsmann
He's
puts
a master
on
at that.
a brilliant show. And I will correct you, Ben. I think you probably are a follower of the U.S. men's national team and know your stuff. I would correct you in saying that there was overachievement, but it wasn't by the manager. The overachievement was by the core group of players who drove that team to have success in spite of the manager.
Which we've been saying for years, by the way, Brett.
Yeah.
We've been saying that for years.
Well, Derek, this sounds eerily familiar to stuff that we were saying.
Yes.
The general not just about Klinsmann, though, but about Berhalter, too.
Yes.
Like, oh, but Berhalter won this, and this, and he got us here. It's like, yeah, but did you watch the matches? I feel like the players really carried the heavy load there.
Yeah, did you notice that the system was all fucked up and that we just kicked the ball around the fucking horn for like 30 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Did Klinsmann say some good things? Absolutely. Did he urge our players to go to Europe? Yes, he did. He sent Breck Shea over there, and who's the other guy? The Colombian American. That
Juan
went
Agudelo.
Agudelo, he sent over. That didn't work out so well. At the same time, Dempsey came back, Bradley came back, Jermaine Jones came over here. Like, it wasn't all roses and petals. But as a manager, actually tactical manager, he was very piss poor. And I think most of these guys, as we said back in whatever year it was, when we were on Big Soccer, that team wasn't even set up by Klinsmann. And when he was the person responsible for setting it up, it was a complete fucking failure. Like versus Mexico, when we started with a 3 in the back. Like, that was a disaster. And it took Jermaine Jones coming over to the sideline and saying, yo, dude, this is up. We are getting our asses handed to us out here in this qualifier at home. So you might want to think about restructuring what you were thinking we were going to do, because we never practiced this. We never practiced a 3 in the back in practice.
Yeah.
So why are you doing this to us?
I mean, that's what Donovan said beforehand when the first crash on Klinsmann came out. Is basically they would spend all camp practicing one formation. Then when the game comes, they'd play a completely different
formation out of the blue. And Jurgen Klinsmann was well known for quoting him to saying, hey, I just put them out there and it's up to them after that. Like, okay, well, there's a lot more a manager can do than that. I'm not expecting you to joystick this, and I don't want joystick managers at all. I want the manager to provide freedom. But when these guys are saying, honestly, that without the core team coming together and putting together some sort of tactical plan, there wasn't one. That's not good.
And I was literally about to say, like, the difference between, say, somebody like Berhalter and Klinsmann, from what we've heard and from what we've seen, with Berhalter is very analytical, and as far as breaking down, this is our system. You got to be here, and if he's over here with the ball, you got to do this over here, and breaking it down, PowerPoint presentation by PowerPoint presentation. And from what we've heard with Klinsmann, is sort of like this is the formation we're playing. These are this is where you're going to be positioned.
Good luck.
Go play soccer.
And if this was just the U.S. men's team players bitching about this, it'd be one thing. But his Bayern players bitched about the same thing. And before that, the German national team bitched about it too, because without, as they put it, the players on the team, Jurgen Löw, that team was a loser team. It was lost. Jurgen Löw was the tactician of that team. Well, guess what? He didn't bring Jurgen Love with him to Bayern, and he didn't bring Jurgen Love with him to the U.S. men's national team. Now, did he get the most out of that 2014? Sure, but what they're saying is that was on us. We did that. Okay, maybe it was all you, but I think people who are still under the impression that Jurgen Klinsmann was actually a good manager, I think you're missing something. And all his teams that he's coached, the big ones, the players have all spoke out loud and said the same thing. He's not a good manager. He's very tactically inept. So there you go. You can either take him from them, which is what I do. I take it from them. This isn't my opinion. This is something I have learned from them.
Well, and there's a quote from Remember the Titans, where Denzel Washington says, you are going to play defensive coordinator under my system, because I never hear a newspaper talk about how the defensive coordinator lost the game. It's always placed on the coach. So in that sense, Jurgen had some great results, whether or not it's overachievement from the players or if it was a combination of both from what Klinsmann put out there and how the players worked in it. He still got results in Italy, various countries in Europe. He's had the most success in Europe, quite frankly, of all of our managers.
I mean, if you really like a totally hands-off tactical approach, he's your guy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, totally hands-off.
Yeah.
Here's the formation, boys. Go out there and do it. So now for the World Cup, I can't remember the guy he brought in, but he was responsible for the setups for the group games.
For the U.S.?
Yeah. And that's how Beckerman got in there, and we end up playing a really defensive, counterattacking game.
Yeah. He's been 4 years. Less than 4 years, I guess, because Bradley technically had a start of the season in there. But he basically had a cycle of bouncing back and forth between different formations and play, attacking, how we're going to be moving the ball around and stuff like that. But come the World Cup, we reverted right back to our natural playing style. The style that most of those players played since they were kids.
So, nobody's revising history. We're just telling you that all of the players that have played under Klinsmann at Bayern, U.S. men's national team, and the German national team all felt the same way. You are welcome to disagree with them if you want, but there have been books written about this, okay, by players from the German national team and players who played with him at Bayern. They all say the same thing. Tactically, not all there. So whatever.
And this was art. He's a great man with the microphone.
Yes,
he goes out there and he can hype up a crowd. But we talked about this back in 2010 through 2014.
We did.
This is on our podcast. We actually have a history of. You guys can go back and watch our old stuff if you want. We talked about how we bounced around from formations. This didn't just come because we watched the rest of this for 8 podcasts with people talking about it.
Again, did he get some results? He certainly did in Europe, traveling, in friendlies. He certainly did Gold Cup. He certainly did get us out of the group of death at the World Cup. Nobody's denying any of those things. But whether or not more could have been done with a better manager, hard to say. Probably not. The players had their limitations too, but what they're saying is they did the work. Oh, Der Kaiser couldn't believe how incompetent Klinsmann was at Bayern. It was appalling. Yeah, De Kaiser, meaning our good friend not our good friend, the German legend, Franz Beckenbauer, was a little aghast by what he saw there. So, all right, you go ahead and play it.
That's my take.
We'll have more time to get all into this at some point. I will say, with time, you become more objective and less emotional about things. So there was a positivity, an energy, and a standards raising that Jurgen brought.
I'd agree with that.
Right? Guy with the microphone. He's a hype man.
Yeah.
He gets everybody stoked. Let's go.
Yep.
Like we stayed at some better hotels, had better food. His energy was good. It was infectious.
It went from a Motel 8 to Holiday Inn Express, and they had a continental breakfast every morning. It's nice.
They went from sleeping on each other or sitting on each other's laps on the airplane to having their own seats.
Yeah. Prior to Klinsmann, we stayed at Boy Scout camps under the stars. It was nice.
Intense.
But you start to realize over time that it's bullshit. So initially it feels good and it's exciting, but then if there's nothing beneath that, then it only lasts for so long, right? So like that new excitement only lasts for so long.
Like, hey, I got the gold card. Let's go shopping. And then you find out there's nothing outside of the gold card.
You know, Fumar keeps saying Klinsmann changed the culture. He certainly changed something. But, you know, I don't know if he was alone in that, because even before Klinsmann, there was Bob Bradley, and Bob Bradley was already changing expectations in the culture by bringing in players like Jermaine Jones and putting together teams that were very diverse and having those kind of high expectations and defeating Spain and almost beating Brazil. I think the culture was already changing. We can't just give that all to Klinsmann. That's not fair. So
Chris Gary says Landon's going to get you demonetized.
How's that?
We're playing his show.
He might. Who knows?
Well, I mean, if he files a claim on this, we'll battle it, because this is all transformative. So we're not just playing the entire thing. We're actually actively making sure that it's transformative.
Absolutely.
Let me just give you guys a quick story that I've never shared before. So we were in a camp. I don't think you were here, Tim.
Oh, nice.
We were in a camp, and all week our training sessions were around how we were going to play in a 4-4-2 in with a diamond midfield. So for people who don't know, there's, you know, a top point of the diamond, there's wide points, and then there's a lower point.
That is, in fact, what a diamond looks like. I agree.
Jesus. Give me a break.
All right. You never know who's listening to your show. Maybe some newbies are coming across. Like, oh, a diamond formation. I get it.
And that's a diamond in the midfield for those who aren't familiar. Most of these guys are. All right, anyhow.
You got to part the labia, right?
Part the labia.
And the diamond. It's a very narrow central midfielder. We had never done it before. So all week we had certain guys playing in certain positions, and we were really like dialing in on that. Now, the way Jurgen used to name the team was on the day of the game, about 11 a.m., before we would go for a walk or a stretch, he would have the team written in the training room, and it was just on the board in our formation and our names in there.
No comment. Yep. Yeah. Keep going.
Gotta keep it going.
So we walked in, we had all played the exact same position all week in training, worked on it in a 4-4-2 diamond. We walked in, there were 5 new players in the team that had not been training with the first team. And we were going to play in a 4-3-3.
He's testing him. You guys got to adapt. He's seeing how quick you can learn.
Guess he didn't like the practices. That's all I can.
This guy over here, he sucked during practice. We're gonna throw in this guy. He can't be any worse, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, this is throwing. Yeah, I mean, it's quizzical. It's like, why did this happen?
And I can't believe that we haven't played in with a diamond formation before. Surely we.
Well, they had under Bradley, but who knows what nuances the.
Well, I mean, that'd be a fucked up diamond with Bradley's, because he played the empty bucket. That was a 4-2-2-2-2.
No, but he would play a natural diamond on occasion too, Bradley. So the natural 4-4-2 diamond, yeah, on occasion.
After we'd been training all week in a 4-4-2 diamond, and so a lot of us older guys walked in and we were like, "What the hell is this?"
I was
and
there.
We actually, you were there, okay. And I remember we actually went to Jurgen and said, Jurgen,
I was there,
we've been training in a 4-4-2 all week. Like, we're not prepared for this. And he said, oh, guys, I'm just trying to keep you on your toes. It's important we keep you on.
I called it, right? I called it, didn't I?
Keep you on your toes. Step on some toes. Sometimes you have to step on some toes.
Know what's going to happen. Yeah.
And listen, I mean, I have every inclination to love Jurgen Klinsmann, and I do like him as a person. You know, he's German. And, you know, so am I. I'm half German at least. And yeah, I was really excited about Jurgen Klinsmann coming in. I had done my homework at the time, but yeah. So I have no reason to to think that both of these guys are full of shit. Honestly, no, I don't.
Derek is a self-hating German.
Yeah. All right.
On your toes so you don't know what's coming. And I was thinking to myself, is this guy out of his mind? We're like, I've played 400 games. You don't need to keep me on my toes. You need to make sure I'm prepared to play the game.
But you played 400 games. You should be able to play the game. But
Yeah,
I mean, I understand what he's saying, obviously.
Like, they've been working on this.
Yeah,
They're really thinking this is what they're going to be doing in the next game. And then he's like, fuck it.
I'd be more worried about the newcomers that come in without any training or have less games under their belt. Donovan should be able to flip flop wherever he goes. Like, oh, we're going to do this. Okay, cool. Or we're going to do this. Okay, cool. You know.
My guess is there are a lot more examples than this.
Oh yeah, I'm positive there are.
No, for sure.
Positive.
I already gave the one with Jermaine Jones where they played 3 in the back when they'd never practiced it before.
Yeah.
Right. So that's to your question, Ben. Like on the outside, you saw all the BS and the smiles and the fluff and whatever. On the inside,
the fluff.
It was just a disaster. And that's just one small story. We'll have plenty more over the years, but I know people think for me it's a personal thing because I got left off the team. But objectively over time, the guy was just a mess. And
but to that point, though, I understand time is the herb that heals all. But don't you think that still kind of jades you a bit?
Oh, there's no way he's over that.
You start looking back, and you're like, that's right, that fucker did change up the formation in that one window.
There is no way he's over that. Sorry. I'm sure he's still hurt by that.
I'm sure he's still affected by it. Of course, he's moved on with his life and everything, but I mean, it still has to affect some aspect of your life.
There is no doubt he's still feeling it. Listen, is he telling the story? Is the story true? Yes. The fact that he's calling him a mess, which is kind of beyond like even saying he had issues. Like if you say, well, he wasn't perfect. Jurgen Klinsmann had issues. They're both literally saying he was a disaster, a mess.
Well, we saw that. We saw that article before the Snow Bowl.
Yes,
we talked about that a number of times. There are other players that have the same issue. So I'm not doubting the issue there by any means.
But the word disaster might be hard.
But doesn't this kind of scream like you back when you were a little younger? You dated a girl and she cheated on you.
Never had that.
You got over her, but that still affected you. That still jades you a bit.
Sure. I mean, how about just being dumped? That's probably easier.
Everybody's dumped.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it's more like not everybody's had their girlfriend cheat on them. I haven't. So,
Colin, we have to stop it. Otherwise, we're going to get claimed. So we have to stop it every now and then.
Is there more?
I don't know. Let's see. He ended Donovan's career, and Donovan was only 30. Yeah, no, he definitely ended Donovan's. Okay, I'll pull it up here. You'll stop pausing. And secondly, he ended Donovan's career, and Donovan was only 32. We've been on the record saying that Donovan should have gone to the World Cup.
Yes,
he has the right to be pissed, but you can't approach this objectively. There's going to be some level of jadedness. It's going to happen.
There's no way he's being objective. He keeps using the word objective. There's no way Donovan's objective. No, I'm sorry.
I would just lean into it and say, dude, I hate the guy. He had some success, but man, he burnt me, and these are other reasons why I just don't really like him. And it's okay to be jaded. You don't have to be objective about everything.
I think he could say I disagreed with a lot of the things that he did on the team, but obviously if the team were a disaster and a mess, they would not have had the success that they did in circumstances in the World Cup and in friendlies abroad. And obviously they weren't a complete mess, and that he had a staff too, by the way, who did a lot of that groundwork as well, which nobody's talking about. So they weren't I think the word mess or disaster is a little rough. Yeah. Is he the perfect manager? He certainly wasn't, and he had a lot of faults. And if you want to talk about those faults, that's fine. But for both of these guys to be describing it as a mess and a disaster, I don't know. Seems a little much.
I'm just saying, back in 2014 and still now, if I had a choice between taking Klinsmann or the players who are voicing dissent against him, I'm taking the players in this situation.
Sure.
Taking Donovan, I'm taking Howard, I'm taking Boak, I'm taking all of them. I'm taking their side.
I would have probably preferred Bradley still be the manager, but hey, that's me.
Oh,
Anyhow.
yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So we're commenting before the best part. Colin says we're going to play here again.
Okay.
And it's no coincidence that everywhere he's gone, he's failed.
Well, that's true.
Very true. Very, very true.
That's
Great
fair.
questions.
All right. Good questions.
Is that it? Is that it, Jordan?
That's it for this week.
All right.
All right.
That was really poor timing on me pausing. I agree.
Okay, hold on. He did not fail with the German national team. That's not true.
Well, hard to fail with the German. I said 2000.
He did not fail with
18?
with the U.S. men's national team. He took us about as far as we thought we were going to go versus Belgium in that
almost
World
went
Cup.
further.
He got us out of the group of death.
You Wando.
Okay, so I don't think that's fair that everywhere he's gone, he was failed at Bayern for sure. He was probably
Failed
going
at
to
South Korea.
Yes, that was a failure. Failed at Hertha Berlin. Or sort of failed. They got rid of him pretty quickly. So I don't know that he's failed everywhere he's gone. Again, we get to the point where some of this sounds kind of personal.
John says, I always believe disgruntled employees. Yeah, that's why there's a website, Glassdoor, I think is what it's called.
Yep.
Where you go like, oh my God, this company's a piece of shit. Look, there's 30 people that are pissed off and said mean things about him. I'm like, well, most fired employees aren't very happy about their company.
Yeah, but come on.
That's
30.
not the same, I know, but
Yeah. I'm just saying I'd like to hear more from other players. I haven't heard this much disgruntled commentary from others, just these two in particular so far. And maybe they just didn't have very good relationships with him in the first place. A little more surprised at Tim because Tim was on every team that Jurgen played or picked. It's why I'm more liable to listen to him than Donovan, who has a reason to be irritated with Jurgen. Anyhow, there's a fine line here between understanding real objectivity and also, what we pointed out early as being some of Jurgen Klinsmann's faults. He has faults. He's also holds grudges. He very much holds grudges against certain players. We saw that with Bocanegra. We saw that with Landon Donovan. The way he treated Bocanegra, I think, was atrocious. And we've talked about it on the show before and how he, right before a game said, you're no longer the captain in front of the whole team and said, you're also not starting. Okay. Well, you could have told him that in private and said, by the way, you're not starting and we're going to give the captain's armband to somebody else. So, listen, he's got his faults. I think disaster's too far. I think it's disaster's too far. I'm not going there. Obviously, a disaster is them not getting out of the group of death. A disaster is not qualifying at all for the World Cup, which possibly he might not have done because Bruce couldn't get it done. It turned around, right?
You can see, from a player standpoint, it was disastrous because it was so hectic or so crazy and off the wall or bat poop crazy. Could you be referring to, maybe he may not necessarily be referring, they may be referring to his time because, again, there were successes, but there were also some failures within. I haven't gone back to take a look to see how Klinsmann did and say, the all-powerful Gold Cup or
he won the Gold Cup. He won the Gold Cup with Landon Donovan. Not long before that World Cup.
Oh, yeah, right before. That's right, yeah.
And everybody thought he's back. He's back.
He's back.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then, left him out summarily after that. So there you go. All right.
Upcoming. Oh, good. Sorry. Continue.
I'm digging into my second beer. And as we move on to a new topic, this is called The Sixth Glass. And it's a quad by Boulevard. Boy, I'm going to be fucked up when this show's after. This one is 10.2.
Ooh-wee.
Oh.
That's hefty. It's definitely a potent potable.
It's by Boulevard Brewing Company right here in the US of A. And where are they located? Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri.
Yeah.
And I've had a lot of their beers before. Boulevard, they are quality. So I'm expecting this to be as good as it was 5 years ago when I had it.
Got some incoming PSV news.
It is good. All right. What do we got? Okay. We'll join PSV as their new head of recruitment, Thomas Shaling. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll join at PSV. Okay. Thank you for everything you did for the club, Thomas, and best of luck in your next chapter. So I'm guessing he has some sort of connections with Ernie, would be my guess.
Possibly. But you know what this leads into, right?
Yeah.
This leads into
transfer news. Transfer news. Who's getting mounted on transfer news? Who's getting over on transfer news? Transfer news. Everyone loves that transfer news, but me. Whatever.
Okay, technically it's not leading into transfer news. There's no transfer here, but some potential youth players going to PSV because of it now.
I guess Nimfasha Berchimus is a Charlotte player. I don't know.
Yeah, he's a Charlotte player, yeah.
Okay.
I think
Well,
he's predominantly played for the Charlotte 2. I don't know if he's played much for the Charlotte Big Boys yet, but highly touted.
All right. Well, we don't know if this is fallacious information or not.
Yeah. All right. Here's some more transfer news. We have some transfer news.
Don't bogart that joint, my friend.
Been claimed.
All right. Tom Selleck Bogart says San Jose Earthquakes are in preliminary talks to sign U.S. men's national team forward Brendan Vasquez from Monterrey since he no longer plays for them.
Well, he just scored a goal, though.
Did he?
Yeah.
When?
Just recently.
No.
It was all over Twitter. Yeah, we talked about it all over Twitter.
2 weeks ago?
Hang on, you keep talking about this rumor. Monterrey.
He's barely been playing recently. Barely.
I know he came in literally for like the 90th minute and scored a goal.
Oh, this weekend?
I believe so.
No shit.
Yes. Came in 90 or he scored at the 91st minute.
All right.
Against San Luis.
Well, that's good. Good for him because it's been a dry trip for a little while. Anyhow, this is not surprising. Doesn't sound like he's going to be a starter anytime soon where he's at. Although, he should probably stick it out if he thinks he's got a shot.
Yeah, I mean, that's just rough, man. I mean, the guy was denied a move to Gladbach. Finished out a season at Cincy, moved to Monterrey, started off strong. Then new coach came in, fizzled out minutes, and now possibly back to San Jose.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. That's it. Yeah. Next. Good lucks to him. I don't think
we got to start up here first.
Leeds United reportedly explored conditions of a potential deal for Diego Luna. I don't think that's a great move. Luna and Brendan Aronson could be teammates, and Leeds are at the top 3 of the championship table. I don't like that move for Luna. I mean, I'll take it if that's all he can get. But, God, there's got to be a team in Spain or Italy or France or Germany before you go jumping straight back into England.
Leeds are still, I mean, yeah, I agree with you on that. Yes. I will say, though, Leeds could be a decent fit when you think of the teams that he could fit into in England, because they are fast-paced, they are offensive-minded. He could do well, but I agree with you. Not the ideal location in my books.
Yeah, I just somewhere else, please. I'd rather him go to Holland, honestly.
Yeah. Pete says, I don't think Leeds would be a good fit for Diego Luna. They're likely they're likely to get promoted to the PL next season. That is a massive jump from MLS. In my opinion, Eredivisie seems like the right move, which I agree too. I think that'd be the most ideal move because it'd be the easiest for him to get minutes immediately.
I don't think that Malik Tillman moving from PSV is a done deal. I just don't. And if it is, where's he going to go? Back to the Bundesliga would be where I'd say he should go.
The rumors in the past have all been English teams.
Yeah, don't do that, guys. Just
but
don't.
I feel like everybody, all of our players are leaning to English teams at every window, it seems like.
Don't go. Go play in the Bundesliga. Go play in Italy. Go play somewhere else. Fuck England. If there's one place where you're going to face bias, That's where you're going to face it. So
we'll be talking about that shortly.
Well, it's true. So Cochin will sign his renewal with Barcelona until 2028 today.
Not really a transfer news, but re-sign news.
Yep.
Oh, and speaking of which, we're already to that point. That would have been a great topic to lead right into our next topic here. When you're talking about the biases of England.
Hey, Larry, quit being such a dick, dude. Larry's just in dick mood. All right.
Let's see. There's some kind of a documentary coming on. I forgot what channel. Netflix or is it let's see. Oh, can't do that. Let's see. It must be Paramount, but we'll see.
Probably.
Play a bias
for sure.
Paramount
It's
Plus.
out there.
And it's just something that you get used to.
It pisses me off. And
Then clearly you don't get used to it if it pisses him off.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you can get used to something and still be pissed, right?
Yeah, sure.
Like, oh God, this thing happens every fucking window.
Come on, dude. That's most people's jobs.
Yeah.
They're irritated, but they go along and do their job.
Mm-hmm.
No way.
I go through it most of the time whenever I'm at Juventus.
He deals with it much more than Pulisic does.
Yes.
I think. Because that's every window he's on the chopping block.
Mm-hmm.
And every window he comes back and does well.
Yep.
And the next one is on the chopping block again.
Yep.
Every year somehow I'm on the out and I'm ready to be discarded. And then, it's like every summer, it's like I'm a new player coming in, having to, make a name for myself.
If it comes.
And that's going to be the most frustrating part for McKinney, right?
Yeah.
He's been there longer than most players on the team. And he still has to come in every window and act as if he's like a new player on the team.
By the way, Colin Reese, if I unblock you, you can't ever block me again. How's that as a deal? If I unblock you, you can't block me. Okay? That's your deal.
Hey,
got a deal done. I will unblock you after this show, but you can't block me. Okay?
The gentleman's agreement.
It is. All right. Let's move on.
All right, here we go.
It was down to me or them, and it's a 50-50 for the call from the coach who's going to play or something like that. I think it exists.
And do you think Pulisic is talking more about his time in England compared to, say, his time in Milan?
Absolutely England.
Guaranteed, yeah.
Yeah.
Or in Germany, for that matter. Yeah, it's just easy to just talk about England.
It's mostly England, though.
Here comes the fun part.
Americans, they've got no one really coming through. They haven't really got no great players.
I can't think of a top American coach I can name off the top of my head.
Okay, that's fair.
that is fair, right? Yeah. American
that's
coach, we're not there coaching, guys. We're definitely not there coaching. That's going to take time.
But he couldn't think of a player either later on. It's really? You've never heard of Christian Pulisic? Come on.
Yeah, come on, son. I guess current squad, but you've never heard of anybody from the previous squads too? Tim Howard? No.
Yeah, Tim Howard, Clint Dempsey.
Other names in there.
How far is
heard of him?
How far is your head up your ass?
Hey, he could be out in the boonies. Who knows?
I can't think of a top player. I can't think of anything that come out of America apart from the money.
No one's opinion is wrong, unless you're a USA fan.
If I was to ask anyone in this bar already what the starting 11 was for USA, no one would.
In our defense here, though, you can go to any bar in America and ask who the starting 11 for the U.S. men's national team is, and they wouldn't know either.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. It has nothing to do with the players and stuff. You guys don't follow our fucking team.
Brian McBride. Yeah, I'm not expecting to know, but just say, I don't know. Don't say that we're wrong. Or
Nobody knows who's on the starting 11 of U.S. men's national team, and they don't have a single good player that I know of.
Did they just miss the World Cup where we tied them 1-1 easily? I guess they did. I guess they missed. But English folks are...
It's bullshit. I guarantee you every single one of these fuckers can at least name a handful. 1 or 2, maybe 3.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. Guaranteed. They're just being dicks, which is fine. Banter's fun.
I suppose.
It is.
All right. I don't know how much more we need.
They've been a bit better than I thought, but they're still shit.
That's fine.
They're not very good.
That's fine, too.
Horrible.
Horrible enough to tie your ass in the last World Cup.
This could have been done after Copa, so maybe they
then why are we playing it? Why are we playing it now? We just tied them in the World Cup. And apparently none of them watched the game. Unbelievable. Yeah, we're shite. We're shite. That's why we tied you.
I'm sure a handful of them probably know who Jedi is. Adam still plays.
Oh, he's not really American, Brett.
He's not American. He's English. He's English.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a player that you can name.
Not to be rude, but who are they?
All
Who
right,
are
that's
they?
enough.
The Americans, I think they think the best at everything.
We're just
I'll argue with him here. We do not think we're best in soccer.
No, we do not.
No, we do not. Everything else around the world, yes, of course, we're the best. Except for schooling. Schooling, we're not the best.
Yeah.
But everything else, we're the best. Except for healthcare. We're not the best.
Yeah. I really don't care about what they think. So we'll move on. For the 210 of you, I'm done listening to this.
It's football, Derek. It's football.
I don't
care. I don't care about it.
You kick the ball with your foot. It's football.
Let's move on. Fuck these people. For the 210 of you here, make sure you like, subscribe, and share it with Grandma on both Twitter and X/YouTube. All right.
God, that's fun. People are fun.
Okay. That's enough of that, though. I mean, it's really impossible.
You know, it'd be fine with those girls, mocking the fact that we call it soccer. In fact, if they probably knew the fact that they were the ones who invented
They're the ones who
soccer.
invented the fucking term soccer. Yes.
But if their accent wasn't so ear piercing, I probably could accept it.
Yeah, I can't deal.
It is what it is, guys.
It's the same shit. And by the way, when we're talking about biases, I could give a shit about the fans. I'm more worried about the coaches, the managers. Yeah. In the end,
fans are fucking fickle, man. Just look what happened with Aronson. He leaves, everybody hates him. He comes back, plays well, and all of a sudden they're.
Oh, now they love him because he had he didn't score or assist last game, but he was tremendous in that last game for Leeds. They're loving him again.
So, yeah, fans are fickle. You can win the fans back over eventually if you want to put in the effort. But
Especially
yeah, you're right.
if you get promoted.
It's the coaches and the recruitment.
You get promoted, they're going to love you, period.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What else we got here?
Let's go back to the Golden Boy himself.
And we've been saying this on this show, especially I have been, because I just watched the Utrecht game before the show.
Mm.
And again, there was nobody who is more important to Utrecht's run in second place currently in Holland, in the Dutch Eredivisie, than Paxton Aronson. He's fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
That kid is everywhere, but not in the same way his older brother is. He's there to make a difference. He is a difference maker. I mean, he covers so much space. Yeah, sure. But he's also a great passer. He's a great leader. He's very thoughtful about what he's doing on the pitch. It's not spazzy at all. It's smooth. Of course, yes, he's playing in Holland against Almere City. Yes, that's going to be easier. Almere suck. But still, they played other quality teams this season. Really should have beat Ajax recently. And really, it really comes down to him. He is the functional brain and quarterback of that team in the middle of the pitch. So good for Paxton Aronson. You deserve the award in November. And keep doing what you're doing. I don't know if Frankfurt are ever going to need you. They may have to sell you because right now they're looking really great. Of course, they're going to lose some of their great players. People buy Frankfurt players. Frankfurt develops players. They don't, and they get older players to come back, but they don't really hold on to their best players. Their best players get sold. So there might be a spot down the line for him at Frankfurt. If not, I'm sure there are a lot of teams at the top of the table at Feyenoord and Ajax and otherwise salivating for a guy like Paxton Aronson to be on their team. So,
yeah,
here we go.
Oh my Lord, here we go again. You ready for it?
Okay.
Oh, you can't see it. Never mind. Hold on. Forgot that I had closed it out. I don't know why I stopped sharing though. From Fox Sports, why Gio Reyna seriously consider a loan to
LA? Oh, for fuck's sake. Could Alexi please stop hanging out? with fucking Donovan. Could he please? Alexi, we had you on the show. And if we brought you on the show tonight to talk about this, we would trash this idea. And I'm an LA Galaxy fan. I'd love to have Reyna. This is not the right move for Reyna's career.
Derek, he's considering a loan. So what type of loan are you looking at? Were you looking at a 6-month because for the end of the season, or were we looking at a full year loan?
Yeah, because as you pointed out before the show, he'd have 2 months of twiddling his dick and then like 10 games and then he'd be back.
Well, I mean, season starts at the beginning of March, so we're looking January to March of preseason, and then he'd have 3 months of MLS games before a 6 month. And quite frankly, the 6 month loan is as far as it's going to go for any team. And we're talking about European, South American, doesn't matter. Because what happens in 6 months, you get to the summer window, he's got 1 year left on his contract. Dortmund's either going to sell him in that window or they're going to sign him to a longer year, extension.
He is going nowhere in the winter. Nowhere. He is getting bit minutes. He got, well, if you count the extra time, he got about 20 minutes last game, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
played pretty well too.
Yes, and he's looking fine. He's going to stick it out at Dortmund. We've said this 1,000 times on this show. They are not forfeiting $30 million. No,
he's gonna get over the gradual of the rest of the season. He's gonna get more and more minutes.
Yes,
it was 12, 12, and then all of a sudden it's like 20, and you're looking. It's gonna gradually get more as long as he continues to go out there and produce. And every time he goes out there for the bit minutes he's out there, it's not like he's a fish out of water. He's moving around the team. He's continuing pass. He's making his passes. He hasn't quite done a lot of the what you want to expect and hope with him, being those last through balls to create goal scoring opportunities. But they're coming. He had at least one this past game.
Fumar, as he says, he should have had an assist last game.
There we go.
Yes, he should have, except for a fumbling, bumbling idiot. So yes,
he's finishing. I can't say anything guaranteed because I don't know, but there's no reason he's going to go out on loan.
No,
Dortmund's going to babysit the situation,
and
they're going to ride it out to the summer. Hopefully, bounce 12 million up to say 15, and then you have a little more wiggling room to do something. Or maybe he's convinced at that point. He's convinced himself that he can continue playing at Dortmund. Maybe he wants to re-sign at that point instead of being sold.
He's not giving up, and they're not giving up on him, and they're certainly not loaning him out in the fucking winter, Alexi. For Christ's fucking sake. Why don't any of these people look at all of the facts in front of them, read some German newspapers, and fucking realize after 6 months of what's been said by Dortmund itself, they have no fucking intention of giving up on fucking Reyna. None. Zero. They are not going to lose $28 million, which is what his once worth was, and it's down that much, 28 million down. They're going to try to reclaim at least 10 of that. Fuck that, dude.
So let's assume that Lawless is talking about a full season loan.
Well, that's not what he said. He says consider a loan.
Yeah, a full season, like full next season. So I mean from like January to December.
And whose spot is he going to take? Ricky Puig?
Well, for at least part of the season, sure.
No. Ricky Puig's our guy. I don't think he's taking
didn't he just
that's not the
ACL?
position. That is not the position as a LA Galaxy fan. I can tell you they don't need Reyna.
Didn't he just tear his ACL or something?
He'll be fine. He'll be fine by next season.
It's like a couple months, man. If it's his actual ACL, it's not gonna be he'll be fine in a couple of months.
He'll be back enough in time.
Like 8 or 9 months, you're out, man.
He's not going to the LA Galaxy for fuck's sake.
I'm not saying he is, Derek. You're misinterpreting what I'm saying here because you're like, where's he going to play?
I'm arguing against Lawless, not you.
Yeah. So, either way, let's just assume Lawless means a year-long loan. One, why would Dortmund do that? Zero reason. What does that do? What does that do for Dortmund? Because if he's there for that, he's all the way up there to January or December of 2025. They've got 6 months left on his contract. Why would anybody pay an exorbitant amount of money when he's going to be a free agent in 6 months?
They wouldn't.
So the teams would just say, "Hey, Reyna, we're interested in you. Just ride out the 6 months at Dortmund, and you come to our team. We'll pay you X amount more than you're used to."
And if you're talking about a loan, why not loan him out to some of the teams in the mid Gladbach, Union Berlin, Augsburg, Hoffenheim, Werder Bremen, Mainz, not Stuttgart. Anyhow, Freiburg. There are probably plenty of teams who'll be willing to take him for a year loan. Why does he need to go to fucking MLS?
Yeah.
What a ridiculous bunch of shit. Do you know, Lawless, there are other teams in the Bundesliga? Surely you know that.
Yeah. He's biased towards LA, though. So.
Oh, that's fine, but that's not even a sensible loan, as I
agree.
said, as an LA Galaxy fan. That's not a sensible loan.
Yeah, Chicago lost Shaqiri, so maybe wait, never mind. I forgot we already have Berhalter.
Yeah. And as Robert says here,
Robin,
a loan would be a tacit acknowledgement that Reyna was a failure or is a failure or will be a failure. Yet you don't come back home to MLS because guess what? You don't go back to Europe after that. I'm sorry. That's just how it works. Generally.
And Dortmund only allowed the Reyna loan to Forrest by extending his contract. Because that loan to Forrest was going to put him in the same situation that this is going to put him into. They're going to enter his last year of his contract with no wiggle room, no way of control. Because teams are going to look at that and say, like, oh, he's worth 12. I'll give you 7. I'll give you 7.
Not to mention, as Grumpy Larry says, he'd be fine in Serie A. There are all kinds of teams in Serie A he could go play for.
He calls them lazy ass too. He was pointing out on X days, like the one match he ran, who's running his top speed was at 24 kilometers per hour, and I'm just like, it doesn't matter. Do you watch him play? Like when you watch him play with Dortmund, he's not sprinting up and down the sideline. He's not sprinting around. He's moving around to open spaces. He's getting into positions to get the ball, but he's not at a dead sprint 99.9% of the game.
He's not a fucking winger. We shouldn't expect him to hit high cheetah-like speeds. All right? He's not a winger.
Yeah. He gets open. He receives the ball a lot in the limited time he plays, and he continues to progress the ball forward. I mean, that's what you want in a player. I don't need him to run around like Aronson does.
Nope. Don't need it. All right.
Okay. All right. Larry, for $2 says, please sing U.S. Men's National Team Anthem. Cash is hurt. You got that one? I can't even translate that.
Cash is hurt. Oh, the song "Hurt" by Johnny Cash.
Oh,
which is a cover, actually.
It's a cover. Yeah. Well, yeah. I think that's why you specified "Cash is hurt." Obviously. It's a good cover.
It's a really good cover.
Yeah. Trent's even come out and said that that song is his now. Not financially, of course, one because he's dead, but two because he's just say it now. That song's.
Yeah, that's really sad. Actually, I listened to it. My mom probably a couple weeks ago on the weekend, and she was like about to cry listening to that song.
Well, I mean, what a weird. It's weird how and I think I caught this from Trent as well. He goes. It's strange because when they first asked to cover it. I said no. It's an emotional song that hits home with me and stuff like that. And the way he sings it, he's in reference to whatever drug abuse and shit like that. But then he finally said okay to it, and when Johnny sings it, obviously at that point it has to do with old age.
He's dying,
experiencing death. Yeah, and it's weird how you can have the same song sung by two different people, and you have two completely different meanings about it.
No, for sure.
It's strange. Yeah.
Yeah, great song though.
Johnny says, "I don't hear any singing."
Well, I hummed it, Larry. Yeah. I don't know the lyrics. Sorry.
I know some of the lyrics, but I'm not going to sing it. I've got a great Johnny.
Daniel's like, can you sing "They Not Like Us" by Kendrick Lamar? I don't know that song. I can give you "Even Flow, float around like
butterflies." Still talking about the Gio topic here. You sent me this one. This is in reference to my thread on this.
Yeah, I just didn't like a par portion of this. It's about his reputation that he's a spoiled.
Yeah, I figured that's why you brought this up, to tell you the truth.
That's not his reputation at Dortmund at all.
Well, and somebody had mentioned it might have even been Steven. I don't know, but he's like, "Oh, I heard that the players there can't stand him. They just put up with him because he's
bullshit."
There. And I go, and then I'm spacing the other guy's name right now, but he goes, he tagged both of us and he says, "Hey, is this accurate? Have you heard anything about this?" And I specified when it comes to Gio,
absolutely,
the only thing we really know is what Derek Ray said. We know that he got into a tiff with Terzic. That was pretty obvious, but who didn't? Who didn't get in a tiff?
Like the whole team did.
Seriously. And then there was that making a mountain out of a molehill kerfuffle against Hummels in the Champions League at the very end of the game. It was such a joke, but that was so blown out of proportion. So nobody, I would go out there and find anybody that has said anything publicly about it.
In fact, all of his coaches have said the exact opposite. All of the board at Dortmund have said the exact opposite. All the executives have said the exact opposite, that he is not that. He is not a spoiled brat, quote from Steven Silver. No one said that. Cole Campbell says only nice things about him. All his teammates consider him the best friend. Haaland considers him one of his best friends. What's his face from Real Madrid?
Bellingham.
Bellingham considers him his best friend. All these players who hate Reyna. Oh, doesn't seem that way. Seems to be a team favorite, especially with the guys that actually are the stars on the team. So yeah, bullshit. I'm calling bullshit on this post. I'm calling bullshit in general on that theme.
Yeah. So Fumar says Cole Campbell speaks highly of him, and I agree with Tom here as well. Forrest spoke highly of him. Forrest Club spoke highly of him.
The manager spoke highly of him. So fuck this bullshit. I am so sick of hearing his reputation is that. You don't know that, Steven Silver. You have no fucking clue what his reputation is. The only person espousing that ugly side of what you're calling his reputation was Greg Berhalter. Period. End of story. That's the only time. And by the way, his behavior at the World Cup was not acceptable. I do agree.
We called that out too.
Yeah. We called it out.
We said, he definitely acted amiss there, and he served his punishment, and it should have ended right there.
Yeah.
The reputation aspect comes from a select group of vocal anti-Reyna people at this point. Like, when I say that, I mean like within the U.S. community, because I don't know of anybody in Europe that I've seen on X or posting articles anywhere that talk about this kid in any other fashion except for he's a talented kid. I like him.
Exactly. I've never heard anything negative from any coach, manager, except for Greg Berhalter. That's it. And you know what? So he screwed up in the World Cup. He was a baby. That is a long time ago at this point. It really is.
Jackson sees this bros ranting on a tweet with 17 views. Yeah, I mean it's more of the topic at hand, not necessarily what Steven said.
I don't give a fuck about Steven Silver or his 17 views. My point is, as Brett says, his point, which we hear often. So it's not just about Steven Silver. It's about all the other clowns who say the same shit. And they're wrong. And they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. His reputation is not of a spoiled brat. Incorrect.
I'll say I have no problem with Steven Silver. We had a nice civil conversation the entire time today on X.
The stories that his teammates don't like him. Oh, you mean Haaland? You mean Bellingham? Like, all these players who don't like him, bullshit. They do like him.
Here we go. Yeah, it was Arturo who posted it. Said, hey, have you guys heard similar? Yeah, and I said, well, it's evident there's a rift between Terzic. There's also the mountain with Hummels. Last we heard about Gio's rep was with Derek Ray's comment. Aside from that, I haven't heard anything. But then again, I don't know anybody at Dortmund. I don't talk to agents. So,
and basically, Derek Ray said, say what you will about GeoGate. I have heard nothing but super positive shit about Gio Reyna at Dortmund from Dortmund players, Dortmund staff, Dortmund coaches. Yeah, there's a huge problem with Gio Reyna and his dude. Come on.
And look at that. My response to a response of Steven's post was, I got double the views. Hey.
Yeah. 36.
Mic drop.
So anyhow, we don't just cover shit that's posted that gets lots of views on here. If you're new here,
to our ever growing slow growth,
right? We take on general themes that we're seeing, and that was a general theme that we thought we had stamped out. Honestly,
Yeah,
I thought
that
we
was
had
a long time
stamped
ago.
that. Yeah, I thought we had stamped that out like 8 months ago, but it's still popping up. And so these people that have this in their mind don't read German press, don't read German media, don't follow German media, don't follow Dortmund closely, do not read Dortmund reports, have no clue, don't watch and didn't read the Nottingham Forest reports about what the coaches and his teammates said about him. He's been nothing but a great teammate.
As far as we know, nobody said anything
since the World Cup. Yeah.
Yeah.
His problem, as you said, is injuries. Period.
So,
all right. Malin's allowed to leave Dortmund this winter and suitable offer comes. It probably will. There are a lot of middle table teams in the Premier League who are dying for someone like a Malin.
But for a winter 25 to 30 mil move?
Yeah. I don't know. That's a lot of money.
Looking back, when Gio was heading off the Forest and people were bringing up like, oh, nobody's going to do him. Look at like he's only getting the moves only like for $1 million or whatever. That's what Forest ended up paying, I guess. But I looked at all the transfers to that last winter window, and there was like one or two that were up there in that 25 to 30, but that was always to Bayern or to Real Madrid. And then Bayern housed the other like 2 or 3 that were like above 10 million, and then everything else was like around 1 million and less.
Yeah.
So I'd be surprised if a move comes.
That's a big amount of money. I think he's more likely going at 18 to 13.
But I think
unless it's Chelsea. Chelsea overspent for Mullen.
That's fair, yeah. I believe that's Pete. I think Pete followed up with this on a quote tweet saying, maybe this is going to open up a door for Cole Campbell to come in. He's getting minutes for Reyna, so who knows?
But if you look at the injury list for Dortmund, it was like 7 players long, and the more these players keep coming back, the less chance Cole Campbell's going to get a chance to come back in.
That's fair.
He probably will spend the rest of the season at Dortmund too. And that's unfortunate, but they're getting healthier, and so that's the problem.
It's also fine as long as he's getting the playing time at this point. He comes up when the injuries happen. Maybe they need to stretch it out because being stretched between all of Pokal and Pokal, let me rephrase that, and Champions League, and then league play. Maybe they need to rest some guys. So it's nice he's in the mix.
He proved a point while he got to play, which is he can hang with these guys. So he'll be back. I think he'll be back.
All right. Let's see what else we got here. Let's talk about our injury woes in the Yanks abroad section.
Yes. All right. Well, let's start with Friday. Henri Chase played another 90 for Stuttgart, and again, I cannot emphasize this more. When Poach said he had contacted multiple players who were dual nats, the only one we can confirm at this point is Koleosho. We can't get any confirmation for Downs, Brown, or even Henri Chase. And that's sad. We should be able to get some sort of confirmation for that.
I think we heard that Poach may have left a comment on one picture of their Instagram or something like that.
I mean, he said he talked to them on the phone, Brett, is what he said.
I'm joking, Derek. Come on.
Yeah. And when he said multiple, which ones are they? Because Brown's come out and said, I haven't been contacted. We've got nothing on Henri Chase right now.
Luna's come out and said the same thing. So it's not even domestic duels.
Who?
Luna.
Yeah, Luna said never been contacted. Like, that's got to end. Guy's got to get a fucking phone call. At least a phone call saying, you know what, we're watching you. Keep doing what you're doing. We're interested. You don't have to beg. You don't start pleading at this point. You're just saying, hey, we're keeping an eye on you. I want to leave a message and say, keep up the great work.
Like, Luna, I like what I'm seeing from you. Keep it up. I'm just getting my feet wet. We'll see what we can get you in here. January window's coming up, I imagine. It would be shocking, absolutely shocking, if he's not included.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll continue.
Pflock, 20 minutes and a loss. Pulisic, 38 minutes in injury. You're gonna hear this a lot.
Yeah.
So how bad is it? We don't know. First, it was sort of just a knock. Now it's a muscle injury. Now it's this. Now it's that. We don't know. We'll see. It was sad to see.
Looks like 3 or 4 weeks at least is what they're all reporting.
I mean, we were talking about the dark side of the Klinsmann stuff. Now we're getting into the dark side of the injuries. And they're starting to pile up. Musa went 90 in that game, and that loss, by the way. Like, how long is this coach going to last? How long is this manager going to be there? I don't know. They can't keep losing these kind of games. Luca De La Torre came back and got 3 minutes for Celta Vigo.
Huzzah!
Huzzah. Yeah, so we'll see. Pepe, a goal and assist in 90 minutes. That was a fun game to watch, by the way. Ledesma, a goal in 90 minutes in the win. Tillman, 90 minutes and a goal and a win. All 3 Americans scoring. All 3 in that win. Zendejas, 90 minutes in a tie over in Mexico. Liga Mexis. Osandina, also on Friday, a goal in 85 minutes for Dordrecht in the 2nd division of Holland in a win, along with Hilton, who played 90. Saturday, Chris Richards and Matt Turner rode Pine together, collecting the hemorrhoids but they were at least in the 18, I guess. We know Matt Turner wasn't going to play, but I thought Chris Richards might get.
Well, that game was a lot of back and forth. They played City, correct?
Yeah,
and they were up, and one would think that
Well, one would think you bring in more defensive player like Chris Richards to, yeah.
Well, that's what I was also going to say. But I mean, City came back, and there's still plenty of time in the match, and whether or not they're going to ride out a tie, or do they continue to push and try to score? I don't know. That manager may have overthought it, to tell you the truth, but they still came out with the draw, so it didn't matter, I guess.
And there are consequences of being not available. And Chris Richards is figuring that out because he was gone for a good amount of time. And during that time, he lost his spot to a guy who's been playing really well. So now you got to fight for your spot back again, right? Good luck to you. I mean, it's going to be an uphill battle because the guy that took your spot is playing well. And Crystal Palace are having a little run here. So unless they fall apart, you're probably not going to get back on the pitch.
S27 says, I think Chris Richards should sign for San Diego FC, and Landon agrees.
Landon, yeah.
Balogun should come to New York City FC.
Yeah, everybody. Bring them all to MLS. Fuck it.
Bring them back in their prime, guys. Every single one of them. Speaking
of MLS, Marky Delgado, former U.S. men's national team player, got an assist in that LA Galaxy win. By the way, LA Galaxy started 4 American players.
Ooh.
New York Red Bulls started 6. And credit to New York Red Bulls. They played more Americans and started more Americans this season than any other MLS team this season. And they made it to the finals. So good for them. And Sean Nealis, yes, got a goal in that game, but they did lose. But they did play, on average, more Americans than any other MLS team, starting more Americans. I think it was like 5.2 or something like that. I got to go back and look at it. But nice. Cheers to them.
The hell did you possibly go and get that set at?
I saw it somewhere. I don't know where.
Okay, fair enough.
Anyhow, Brendan Aronson, 69 minutes, giggity, in a win for Leeds, who now sit at 2nd and look like they might comfortably go home and get this, promotion.
Well, in fairness, in the last season too, that looked like that too. I mean, they were like 99 points. They were 1 point away from 100. And they still had to go to the playoffs.
Well, I think a lot of Leeds fans thought after they lost some critical players here that this is going to be worse season than the last. It's been a better season. But then again, they did get Wober back, right? Fober, and they got Aronson back. So it's actually looking better. Do you think Koleosha is that much better than a current Campbell? No. I've watched plenty of Koleosha in championship this season. I'm not seeing much but speed. I'm just not. Sorry. Dwayne Holmes, 13 minutes for Preston North End in a tie. Lyndon Gooch is back in the 18 for Stoke after a long injury. Balogun's injured. This is going to sound like repetitive. Haji Wright's injured. Even Emmanuel Sabi's injured. Tessman got 8 minutes for Lyon in a win. Maloney went 90 in a loss. Maloney's gone. He's gone this winter. He's out. Some other team in the Bundesliga, whether it be Augsburg or whomever in the middle of the table. And here are my main picks for him moving. I would see him moving to either St. Pauli, Hoffenheim, Augsburg, Union Berlin, or even Mainz. I think he's got options there. So I would expect him to move and maybe even play center back, honestly, for any of those teams. We'll see what happens. Nathaniel Brown, 45, came in at halftime in the tie. No mind-blowing game this time for Brown, but still a good game. And that was against Augsburg, who have Noah Kai Banks on the bench in the 18 for Augsburg. So good news. He's now in the 18 on a regular. Scally, 90 minutes in that Gladbach versus Dortmund game. Played really well. Got to give credit to Scally. He was good. Reyna's 12 minutes plus extra time was pretty good as well. Weah, 80 minutes in a tie for Juventus. Again, another manager that I think should be under pressure. Like, what are we doing here at Juventus? But McKennie's injured. Give him that's another injury.
Yep. Johnny
at Batiste, injured. Marlon Fossey, 90 minutes in a tie for Standard Liège.
I guess if our players are going to go on an injury spree, as then everybody gets injured at once, this is the time to do it.
This is the time.
You know, we have plenty of time before the next international window that they can attend.
Yep.
So might as well go ahead and get your little injuries out now.
Yep. Kaveh Zirha-Leslam injured at St. Truden. Mark McKenzie, 90 minutes in a loss for Toulouse. Kind of like the first game. He's had a rough time in a while. He's been playing really well.
Bound to happen eventually.
Caleb Wiley out at Strasbourg with anal herpes. What's it? No, hemorrhoids.
Hemorrhoids.
Needs surgery. George Bello, 90 minutes in a loss. Donovan Pines, 90 minutes for Barnsley in a loss. Slonina, again, did not dress. I don't know what's going on.
He's already moving the ship back to London.
Yep. Dietz, red card, but played 77 before he got the red card and got an assist in that win for a much-needed win for Greuther Fürth as Green went 90. And that was against Hertha Berlin and John Brooks, who's still not back from injury.
Calf.
Yep.
The old age is wearing a rough on him.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. Novakovic, by the way, a win in 76 minutes and an assist for Bari in the Serie B. They currently sit in fourth in the promotion playoffs, along with the team they beat, Cesena, with Jonathan Klinsmann starting his multiple games in a row for Cesena in that loss. And they currently sit in sixth, also in the promotion playoff zone. Here's a guy who's been taking a step back in the Serie B at Palermo, Kevin Lund, in the 18, not playing. Coming off the bench before that, not playing a whole lot lately. So what's going on at Palermo and with Kevin Lund? It's not good for him. Trusty, 90 minutes in a win alongside someone other than CCV who was in the 18. I don't know. He could be having a toe thing. He's out all those. I think Tack talks about his toes all the time, but it's true. He has a lot of toe injuries, so maybe they just were like, yeah, just leave CCV out. But if Trusty takes CCV's spot on the starting lineup, whoa. Jedi, I mean, we don't know that to be true, but it could be. Jedi, 90 minutes in a tie. Wow, what a frustrating game. But anyhow, they sit 10th, so I'm okay with that at Fulham. Tyler Adams did not dress because of cramping after the last game.
Everywhere.
Cramping everywhere, yes, and I quote.
Where the
Okay.
cramps hitting you? Everywhere.
Now, if a guy is cramping that bad and you don't, so Tack was all worried because he wasn't even in the 18. Well, if a guy has like subtle injuries, no. This could be planned. It could be like, we're just going to give him the full time off. He's not dressing. He's not practicing. We don't want anything to do with him working. And so
I was hesitant on saying something.
Get some Midol for what?
Cramps.
Oh, so yeah. I guess his pussy's cramping. Anyhow, yeah.
Insert it's time of the month joke here.
There is no point in putting him on the bench if you absolutely have no reason to play him. You might as well put a guy on there that might be useful. So I wouldn't get too worried about it. I would be worried about how serious the injury is, though. I don't know. Daryl DK's still injured. Kevin Paredes still injured. Getting a theme here. Busio 84 and a tie, a much needed tie for Venezia as they continue to sit at the very bottom of Serie A. Reynolds 90, Yao 90 and a loss for Westerlo. Paxton Aronson, we already discussed 90 minutes, but the more important thing in that game is that Booth sat for 90. And I don't, honestly, based on the Spanish guy they've got playing right wing out there right now, I don't see Taylor Booth getting much starting time. But do I think Taylor Booth needs to surrender and go play for a lesser team in a fucking Holland? No. Fight for your spot, dude. Fight for it. Go get it. That guy's, you can beat out that guy for that spot based on how I've seen you play before. He's a good player, but so are you. So go fight for it. What, is he going to go play for Go Ahead Eagles? I mean, how far down the table do you want him to drop? Like, Utrecht is traditionally a mid-table team already, and they might end up there by the end of the fucking season. So, no, don't leave Utrecht. Stay at Utrecht. And by the way, next season, they'll probably lose some of these players, including Aronson, and they'll need Booth back.
Yeah.
Yep. Right. I can't comment on Sebastian Soto anymore in Klagenfurt because he's got no club.
Okay then.
He's still got no club. Downs. 56 minutes in a win, didn't score this time. How about starting Downs more often? Kern.
Wait, which Downs?
Damian Downs or Dominic Downs? Which
one? Which one?
I'm going to go with Dominic.
Dominic Downs, huh?
Yeah. Does that sound right?
It sounds right for you, Derek. Yeah.
Okay. All right. EPB did not dress for Panathinaikos. I mean, what the fuck did he go to Greece for? Why? What's the point? And then Sargent's still injured, of course.
That's going to be coming to an end soon, though. I mean, I think he's beginning of next season. I think
maybe we'll see. Rick Van Hees today, only American playing today, played 83 minutes for Utrecht 2 in their loss down there in the second division of Holland. So there you go. That's the Yanks Abroad report. Man, my voice is going out already.
Ping goes, no, Derek.
What?
It's the son of Satan Downs. Damien
Downs. I think his name should have been Dominic. I'm sorry, but
you're pretty stuck on that. S27 says, "Hey, Greece is nice, Derek."
No, it is very nice, but not if you got injuries and you never get to play. Greek women are hot as fuck. That's W8.
What you would go. That's why you'd go to Greece.
Aren't they hairy though? I've had.
It's a growing trend here in stateside too, Derek. So we're not too far off.
I mean, not all Greek women are hairy. I'm just saying I've met one Greek woman who was hairy. And I'm not going to make a judgment about all Greek women. But
you met that Greek woman here stateside, though.
I did. She's very Greek, by the way, and she was quite hairy.
So
they aren't all hairy, though. It was just her. I'm guessing.
If that's it, it's an illusion. Untouchable says very hairy. You can always shave. No, they aren't. Nonsense. I like it.
I like it. I like that. He's like, I embrace it.
Lamar says, don't be a bitch, Derek. A little hair is no issue. I don't know.
I'm not a bitch. Listen, I grew up in the 80s, dude.
I mean, armpits and legs unshaved. You can, do a little manicure thing and the above the labia. But I don't want to know. I'm not big into the whole hairiness aspect. So.
I'm not into that.
I could put it I would single me could put it aside depending on how gorgeous the hairy chick is. So
listen, I'm hairy, but I find myself disgusting. So why would I want a hairy woman? I really don't. I don't want to fuck myself. I'm hairy. I'm not into that. But anyhow, I don't need to worry about that anymore. I don't want a chick with
a beard.
Daniel says the porn I watch typically has hairy. Okay. All right. Well,
let's you watching that 70s porn.
If you're watching 70s porn, for sure, that is some hairy shit.
Pull out the weed whacker.
I mean, they're parting that shit to find the labia, right? They're like, where is it? Oh, there it is. Let me insert now. Are you all some little bitches? Not everyone can be bald. Nobody's expecting that. This is our own personal preferences, and I don't think it makes us bitches. It just makes
Thanks, Robin, for the 79 cents pound.
Pound, yeah.
Pound. Must be the equivalent of a 99-cent super chat.
Yeah.
Appreciate
all
that.
Right. Now, listen, we all have our proclivities, right? And I think it would be facetious for me to say that your opinions don't matter. If you like hairy women, that's totally cool with me.
Each their own.
Hairy women need love too. They really do. They need love.
You almost pulled Quagmire there. He goes, hey, fat chicks need love too, but they got to pay.
Giggity. Anyhow, that's been tonight's report. It's been a fun 2 hours with all of you. We will be back on Thursday. We'll see how the midweek works out. It's always fun coming on here and talking with you guys and have you absolutely berate us on the chat. It's a lot of fun. We get a kick out of it, so keep it up.
Each show, we're getting to know you guys a little better every time.
Yeah, I think we know a lot of them pretty well.
Our chat's into hairy ladies, apparently.
Yeah, a lot of guys liking the hairy ladies.
What about hairy, muscular ladies with Adam's apples? Does that count?
That's probably not a lady. That's a dude that looks like a lady.
Dude looks like a lady.
All right. Anyhow, we're all, hey, listen, you're into foodies. We're totally for that too. Whatever you want to do, as long as it's legal and they're consenting adults, hey, that's all good. I think go for it. We're pretty open here about that. And we love you all. Make sure, by the way, if you're hanging out with your stepsister on the couch, you give her a big kiss from us. I think it's time for us all to move to the next step and embrace all the stepsister, stepbrother love as, just an equal thing that we all need to get around or put our arms around. Kind of like, apparently for most of you, hairy women. Until the next time on the Straight Red Card. Mwah.
That hurt.
I'm really proud of the way that the guys just put in the shit.
Hey, what's it like in Brazil right now? Is it warm? Yeah. It's always hot, huh? Yeah.
You really suck.
This sucks more than anything that I've ever sucked before.
You getting that ass, Larry? Know what I mean? You getting that ass, Larry. That's what the fuck you do.
We are enjoying a lot about this time here.
Why are you holding up a card to indicate a penalty? Like, there's so many different things you can do, and you decide to hold up a card? That's insane to me.
Oh no, I'm stuck. Step bro, come help me.
Where is the vagina? It's a trick question because you can't see it here. You need to